This past week in GTA Online, we saw the release of the new Gerald contact missions that we honestly knew quite a bit about prior to them releasing. They have been in the game files since the Casino Heist DLC in December. We thought they would initially be a part of the first drip feed, but it turns out Rockstar saved them for this past week. But what's even more strange is that they didn't save them all for this week, because there are 2 left remaining. So what do these 2 unreleased hidden missions mean going forward, and how this actually might be connected to the next DLC release date? There's a striking similarity between these Gerald missions and last year's Simeon missions. So a quick recap: this past week the Gerald missions came out, and one of the very interesting tidbits from them was this text message from Gerald. Word is we got hard times coming. Way I see it, gotta make bank before it hits the fan. A lot of us are speculating maybe that's a hint as to the next DLC, and whatever the next DLC is, it might revolve around some sort of like Anarchy theme where just everything's gonna be going crazy in the city. And maybe that's the case. I don't really think we got much of an answer as far as like the story goes in these Gerald missions. It's not like there's any cutscenes. It's just what he says on the phone or through the text messaging. And then now, knowing the fact that there are 2 missions remaining, it makes this whole situation even weirder. Because I think there are really 2 possibilities here. Number one, this tease that Gerald's saying that hard times are coming, maybe we find out the answer to that in those unreleased missions, which would mean it has no effect on the next DLC. But it is strange though how they would release 6 of these Gerald missions and not maybe the final 2. And in case you were wondering where this is coming from, Fun posted this, and of course he's digging through the game files and can see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. But he says it does seem like we're getting 2 more Gerald missions in the following weeks. And the second part we'll come back to here in a minute. It may be a coincidence, but the missions we received, we got them at the same time as we got the Simeon missions last year, which is a very, very strange connection. But the other possibility about these unreleased missions, if they don't release, maybe they're going to actually use those and tie them into the next DLC. We all know there's a pandemic going on. We all know maybe Rockstar's development team, even though they say they're working from home and nothing's really changed, I'm sure some stuff has changed, and maybe they don't have the resources to make a giant, huge DLC from scratch. So what they could potentially be doing here is pivoting into this like Anarchy style DLC. They had a setup for it before this whole thing with these Gerald missions, so maybe they're like, hey, we'll just, these 2 missions we have from Gerald, let's not release those and base a DLC and update around that, maybe on a smaller scale. And then also, given the fact that they still have yet to release the open wheel race creator, it seems like that isn't going to be released until the next update. Maybe they're just trying to hold back some things so they can make the next update sound a lot bigger than it is. Because both of these scenarios make absolutely no sense. Why would they not, number one, release the open wheel race creator when people seemingly like the races, but there's only 7 of them, I believe, that Rockstar made? And then number 2, with the Gerald missions, why would they release 6 and not the final 2? I guess, look, Fun said he's maybe guessing that over the next couple of weeks we get them. And hell, maybe they freaking are going to drip feed missions now. Maybe next week we'll get the second to last mission, and then the following week we'll get the last mission. But if that's not the case, then I think they might be incorporated into that next update. And speaking of that next update, the Simeon missions, I'm just putting this out there. Obviously, this is some big speculation, so maybe take it with a bunch of grains of salt here. But last year, the Simeon Reaper missions, he said, came out on the fourth Thursday of April. Gerald missions just came out on the 4th Thursday of April. We take a look at the DLC schedule for that year. The next big DLC was actually the original Casino DLC, and that came out in July. So maybe that's what they're shooting for here, a July update. Over the last couple of weeks, Rockstar has added some more vehicles to the Podium list, trying to extend that. I believe now we go into mid-June with that list, so it makes sense. Maybe they're pushing for that July update. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this whole topic. But it is interesting, I think, only because of the whole pandemic going on. Normally, I don't think this would be anything to look at, but given the fact that Rockstar's probably, number one, short-staffed because of the pandemic, number two, short-staffed because of they're working on GTA 6, and then number three, they usually don't, it seems like they're not putting as much work and time and effort into these GTA DLCs. Maybe they're holding a bunch of this stuff back, and that's going to be the next update. That's my thoughts at the moment, given everything we know. But it will be interesting to see how things shake out. Thank you all for watching. This will do it for this video. Please drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA Online content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.